Hello everyone, my name is Kate Marshall. The name of my channel is called Inked Paper Art. Today is day 33 of a project I started at the first of the year called 365 Days of Junk Journal Ideas. I am showing a short 15-minute video every day detailing something that we can make for our junk journals, a way to decorate, a way to make a junk journal, all different kinds of junk journal related ideas are covered. So today we're going to be making some very simple, easy to make pockets. It's actually a double or a triple pocket out of a regular standard business size envelope. These are called number 10 envelopes. It can have lining on the inside. It can be white on the inside. It doesn't really matter. Just for size wise, it's a number 10 business envelope. You can use a smaller envelope. You can use whatever you have. You can use junk mail, all kinds of different things. Let's go ahead and get started. So I've got some envelopes so we can make a few. I've got some antique handwritten documents here. I've got some printed digitals in a variety of different colors. I've got some French ledger. This pile over here is all, I call them misprint digitals, but when you make digitals, you need to print out a lot of different things and then sometimes make adjustments to colors or whatever. So I have a big pile of leftover printed ones from that. So I'm going to be using up some of those in the project today. And hopefully we get to the point of decorating. Not sure if we will, but hopefully. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to seal up your envelope. You can use glue stick, you could lick it, you could do whatever you want. I don't like the taste of envelope glue, so I'm just going to use glue stick. And I'm just gluing up that envelope right on this part where, if you licked it, it would be sticky. That's it. I'm not gluing the whole flap because if you glue over here, where you're just glue where your glue is. If you glue over here, you're going to close up your pocket. So just glue that little bit there. We're good. Okay, I'm going to do a couple just so that we have a couple bases ready to go. And that way you'll see again just on where the glue already is. Okay, there's that one. And we'll go for 3 today. I don't know if we can get 3 done in 15 minutes. We will see. I mean, I'll do 3, but I always make extras off camera anyway, so that's good. We've got 3 done. That's the beginning part. The next part is we're going to pick out what we're going to put on our envelope to decorate it. You're going to need something, 2 different papers, 2 different patterns. You don't have to use 2 different ones, but I think it looks better when you use 2. So one is going to cover the top half of your pocket. One is going to cover the bottom half of your pocket. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start out using the antique ledger. I want to do one out of that. I have been dying to do one. So I'm going to size my piece for the top of my envelope. And I'm just going to make a little mark on the back with a pencil. You can use a printed digital of French ledger if you want to do this project and have a similar look, but you don't have the French ledger. If you need French ledger, of course, I sell it in the live sales and also on my Etsy. So there's the French ledger. We're going to cut that down. And I like to give you guys the option of, if you don't have the original French documents, ledgers, whatever, use a digital. There are many digitals out there, as well as I have digitals that I sell in the live sales. So there's that. Let's glue this. Yeah, that's about the right size. Yes. Okay, good. So I'm not going to glue it just yet. I'm going to pick out whatever I'm going to put on the bottom. And so for the bottom of this one, I just want something that matches. That's good. I am moving quick today. Something that matches, coordinates, right? So this ledger has pink and blue in it. And this paper has these pink roses with kind of a bluish tone. So I'm going to use that. And then for this one, I think we can just kind of line them up and cut it out. There we go. There's my cutter again. So for measurements, just cut your pieces to the width of your envelope. The width of this envelope is, let me just tell you, so if, in case you don't have an envelope and you're like constructing this from scratch or whatever, a different size envelope, my envelope is 4 inches. So just about 4 inches is where I'm going with my paper. I might leave a little overhang so I can trim it off. So I did 4 1/4 just so I could play around with where I wanted my little roses to end up. There's that. Okay, next thing, we're going to fold up our envelope. You can fold it up to wherever you want to fold it up. So I'm folding up the envelope this way. You could also fold it up this way. It doesn't really matter where this part of your envelope is. If you want it to the back, then put it to the back. For me, I'm going to make my pocket where it's glued down to a page. I've got some paper scraps there. It's glued down to a page, and so I don't need to worry about covering the back of it. And I'm just going to fold it up about maybe 3 inches. I went about 3 inches there. Okay, so my bottom paper is going to cover this bottom section here, but I don't want this section. I want the section with the roses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in my glue paper right here, and I'm going to glue up the bottom section of my envelope. This is the easiest way to do this so that you don't have to do a bunch of measuring and cutting. Just glue up the bottom section of your envelope with your glue stick. You can see I glued it heavily there. Pinpoint where you want your paper to end up, and you're going to take your envelope and you're going to just guess and say, well, I think my roses are roughly right about there. And that's where my roses are now. So there's that. There's the bottom section of our paper. Our roses are right side up. We're going to give that a minute and then we're going to cut that off. So that was that. Let me trim that. And then we're going to glue and put our top paper on. And then we're going to be cutting our pockets. So right now, our envelope is completely sealed. In a moment, we'll cut our pockets. And I'm not worried about trimming the sides just yet. I'm just going to trim the top and bottom. And of course, I'm going to save these scraps so I can use them later on a different project. But now we have the bottom of our pocket covered, and we're going to cover the top part, which is this part in here. Now your pocket is going to be glued up, so you don't need to waste this whole section of paper. I would go down a little bit further than where your pocket meets right here, but you don't have to go the whole way. So again, I'm going to pull in my glue paper and I'm going to glue up the bottom, which is now the top of my envelope. And so I'm just going to guess where it's going to go. Depending on the size of envelope that you are using, just glue down far enough to cover, I'm going to guess right about there, to cover where this flap folds up, right? So see, I've got my glue well underneath there. I'll be fine. That's great. And then let's take our ledger paper, decide which side is the prettiest. I don't think there is an ugly side of French ledger. I kind of like this part with the writing, so I'm going to use that side. So then I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on my envelope, just like that, making sure that everything is straight and glued on. And then you can see this little section here that I have. I'm just going to cut it off. I'm going to save this much ledger to play with at a later point in time. I like this kind of a project. There's no stressing and, measuring a whole bunch of different things. So there's that. I glued that just to make sure I had it glued down really, really well. And now, before I glue up my pocket, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to look at the back because I have some paper that's overhanging and I'm just going to trim that very quickly. There's just tiny little bits. This was an antique original ledger page. It is not 100% square any longer. So I'm going to trim that off. And then from here, I've got a little bit of overhang right here from my bottom paper. I'm going to trim that off, making sure I don't cut into my envelope. Now, you have options for which way that you want your pocket to be and what kind of pocket you want your envelope pocket to be. What I mean is, we can cut off the top right here and thumb hole notch one half of it, and this will be a pocket inside of our envelope. We can also do a thumb hole notch here, and then there will be a pocket right here. But what I like to do is do a thumb hole notch over here or over here and have it be a pocket that way with a tag sticking out. I normally go on the right side, so that's what I'm going to end up doing today. Before I put a thumb hole notch in there, I need to open this section because right now my envelope is completely sealed on all sides. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the top just by doing a very, very small, skinny little sliver off of the top of my envelope. And You can use your paper trimmer for this as well. It might give you a better, straighter cut. I've had too much coffee today. So there's that. And now my envelope should be open right here. Let me see. Yes, it is. It's open right there, except for this part. But other than that, it will be open. So it's open right there. We're good. We got it open up there. I will do this little trim a little bit cleaner. I don't know what happened there. Let me trim that. Oh, that's where the flap is. No big deal. That's where the flap is. There's that. Now it's completely clean and trimmed. We're good there. So that's the top opening. I want to thumb hole notch that. And you guys know I like to use the whale tail one for it. It just gives a nice little oval shape, and I really like that. So I'm going to do that one right there. I'm just kind of trying to get it in the center. We'll see how successful I was. And that looks pretty good there. I like it. Now for this one, again, you could do thumb hole notch here and trim off this part. I'm going to trim off the right side. And so I'm just going to pick it up like this, flip it around. And again, I'm trimming the right side, but because I have it backwards, it's the left side. And I'm just doing a little sliver. That's probably a bit much of a sliver, but I'm doing it. There we go. Perfect. I love it. And then I'm going to open this little section up here. So now we have this little section. It's open like that. And I'm going to do a little thumb notch out of that. I don't know if it will fit in here. Oh, it will. Cool. I'm going to do a little thumb hole notch out of that one. And I didn't do much. And now I've got my envelope showing there. Good. So if you have a lined envelope like this one, you can see, I'm going to refold this just a little bit. If you have a lined envelope like I have, you'll show the envelope lining in the back. So just keep that in mind. If you want to cover that and put a little decorative paper inside of here, you can do that too. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue up our pocket. And so you need to glue up the sides of this one here. So add your glue from the fold. Maybe. There we go. Glue up the sides of your pocket. I just used this glue. So this is Sunday's video. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. So there's that. It's glued up. I'm going to slide it over just a little bit. There we go. So the sides of our pocket are glued. And now our pocket, if you're gluing it down to a page, is completed. If you want to make this a floating pocket where you clip it in, you could cover the backside. I've got glue there, but you could cover the backside with copy dyed paper and it would just be a clip-in pocket where you would put a tag in here and a tag in here. You can make it clip in. You could put a pocket in a pocket. I'm going to probably just glue mine down on a page and I'll glue it here and here across the back and it will be a tuck. So I'll get a tuck, a pocket in here, and a pocket in here. Does that make sense? So I have one more to do. I'm going to try to get it done. Obviously, it'll be a longer video today, but I'm going to try to do another one. We're here. Let's do it. So there's one. The next one, same thing. I'm going to fold up. Now you can, again, there are many different ways of folding these, and I will show you another example later on in the year. But there's that one. So I know where to put my papers. The next one I'm going to make is out of digitals. And I'm going to use, where are they? Right here. I want to make a pink one. And the pink one, where are my pink papers? The pink one is right here. So I'm going to use this digital. This is the digital of mine. And this one, these are available. They're already for sale in the live sales. So these two right there, it's a pink. I don't know if it shows pink, but it is a pink invoice and a pink floral. Doesn't matter what ones you use. I'm going to probably end up putting these florals back here in the back. And so I just want to kind of see where it needs to go. Again, you can make a mark with your fingernail. You can make a mark with a pencil. We know it's about 4 inches. So let me trim this off. And these were just extra digitals. I'm going to leave this one long so I can cut it again. There we go. And then I'm going to cut my bottom section as well. I don't know what exactly we want on the bottom section. Let's cut it here and we'll play with it. Well, this will definitely give us enough to play with. We'll have to cut again. Okay, so from there, we're gluing. Let's get the top section on first this time. And we're going to position our flowers where they're going to be seen, right? So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to glue the top half of my pocket, just like this. And then I'm going to put my decorative paper on there, making sure I get the part of my flowers on there I want. And if you need to re-glue down here, like I went a little bit lower than I anticipated. Ooh, and I got a big chunk of glue. That's okay too. So there's that. Now we're going to glue this part here so that we can add that decorative paper. It'll make sense as you do it if it doesn't make sense at the moment. But as you do it, you'll see exactly what parts to glue. So there's that. Here's this little strip of paper. And I'm not sure if we want this one or if we want the actual ledger part. So let's take a peek and look. Like if we do this one, it's just that. If we do this one, we've got ledger. I'm going to do the ledger. So for the ledger, because I didn't cut this part to size, I'm just going to line it up and stick it on there. Perfect. And we'll glue that one down. I got a little glue there. No big deal. It'll rub off with a glue eraser. There's that. And then let's do our trimming to trim off all of this excess paper. I like to trim off the excess paper at the end. Some people, I understand, you know, that stresses them out. They need to know the exact measurements. And for them, that's just the way that their brain works. They need to cut all the little pieces of paper to size before they start. And I get that. Everyone's brain works differently. Over the years of crafting, I've just found that I work better just getting it on there and then trimming off the extra, because if you make a mistake with your measurement, then you have to go back and trim or edit anyway. And I found that this way, you're only cutting once. You're not cutting multiple times. So, I mean, you're kind of cutting twice. You guys get the point of it. You're not maybe making your sizes of your paper too small and then having to go back and cut a whole nother piece because it's too small or you couldn't get it glued on straight or whatever. So there's that one. Got that stuck on there. And let's do our little slices and thumb hole notches, and then we'll get this guy done. So again, I'm going to go up at the top of the envelope. The top half of the envelope, I always go at the top. Now there are other folds that you can do where you can open this envelope up in a different area, and that makes a different kind of a pocket. And see, this one is completely open all the way. I think on the last one, I did get a little too far over with my glue or something to that effect. Then right here, we're going to go on the right again. So I'm going to open it up this way. And I like to just flip it around. It's just easier for me. And so I'm going to cut on the right. And this time I'm trying to do a small sliver. There we go. There's that one. And then we need to do our thumb hole notches. Where is my thumb hole punch? Over here, right in my face. So we're going to have a couple cute pockets. I'm happy that we at least got 2 done. I know, you know, if you have your supplies out, you probably can get more done than I did. So there's that. And then let's thumb hole notch this one right here. And it looks like I need to re-glue that maybe. Yeah, it's just the part where the envelope is. The little flap of the envelope. So let's do a thumb hole notch there. And then really quickly right here where this little flap is, because we sliced it open. Maybe it didn't get enough glue originally or whatever, but let's put that there so that that can be glued up. And then I like to glue the pockets with art glitter. Now, normally I would ink across there just because once you glue this down, you can't really, ooh, I had a lot of ink on there. Once you glue this down, it's harder to ink it. So I'm going to take the time to ink this one quick, and then I will glue, and then we will be done. I usually don't like such a dark ink, but I guess my dauber is pretty loaded with ink at the moment. So we got what we got there. No biggie. I can live with it. I think the more light color pink stuff that I do, I like less and less ink. I think that's probably pretty normal. Okay, so there's that one. We'll glue up our pocket. These are quick. You can sit down and mass make a bunch of these. And so this was our project for Sunday. It was day 33. We have a whole lot more days left. We have 330, what is it, 32 days left to do. And so we're going to continue working on this project. Now, if you had a tag, your tag would go back here in the back, obviously. And like I said, when you put it on a page as a tuck, you get a whole nother pocket back there. You have a pocket right here, and you have a pocket right here. So there's a lot of pockets on a pocket. And then from here, I would do a little more decorating down on this part. But you get the idea. We made two beautiful ones. I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Bye, guys.